We learned this week that money cannot buy everything. We learned specifically, indeed very specifically, that money cannot buy the Supreme Court of Wisconsin, in an election to which a broadly liberal judge, Susan Crawford, defeated a conservative, Brad Schimmel, profligately backed by Earth's richest man and that kid in primary school nobody else told about their birthday parties, Elon Musk.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk has pumped more than $20 million into a Wisconsin election, going so far as to hand out $1 million checks to 2 voters yesterday. It made the race to fill a seat on the state Supreme Court the most expensive judicial election in American history.
We learned that Musk had indeed distributed 2 $1 million checks to 2 completely randomly chosen voters, though by incredible coincidence, one was chair of the Wisconsin Federation of Young Republicans.
No, really? Oh, that blows my mind.
No way. Blow me down.
And we learned that the other will never be known by the nickname One Take, as her first swing at describing her glee.
My name's Ekaterina Diesler. I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I did exactly what Elon Musk told everyone to do. Sign a petition, refer friends and family, vote, and now I have $1 million.
Was swiftly deleted and replaced with...
My name's Ekaterina Diesler. I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I did exactly what Elon Musk told everyone to do. Sign a petition, refer friends and family, and now I have $1 million.
Especially bat-eared listeners will have noted that the second swipe omits the keyword vote, from which we learned that someone might now be gratifyingly worried about being seen to offer inducements for voting, which is not terrifically legal in Wisconsin, would be awful if any such test case ended up in front of its Supreme Court or anything. Anyway... We learned that, among other things, money may shortly not be able to buy in America is everything.
Likewise, an old-fashioned term that we use, groceries. I used it in the campaign. It's such an old-fashioned term, but a beautiful term, groceries. It sort of says a bag with different things in it.
Hey, he was just getting started. We learned, yes, of the details of the long-cherished global tariff regime of Elon Musk's second-in-command, US President Donald Trump. While these measures have, as of this recording, not lowered the price of anyone's weekly shop, they have substantially lowered the price of global stocks, so swings and roundabouts. We learned, however, that geography may not be the president's strong suit. We are, as usual, as shocked as you are. We learned this from scrutinizing certain details of the United States tariff regime, which appears basically to boil down to this. For countries Trump quite likes, has never heard of, or doesn't care about, it's 10%. For most other countries, it is an entirely nonsensical number supposed to represent a given country's tariffs on the US, though, to be clear, it absolutely doesn't. It appears to be American trade deficits with a given country divided by that country's exports to America, which is just not the same thing, or indeed a thing at all, generously halved.
I get it now. Righto, carry on.
But in the detail lurks not so much the proverbial devil as that guy shouting at bins in your supermarket car park.
European Union, they're very tough, very, very tough traders. You know, you think of the European Union, very friendly. They rip us off. It's so sad to see. It's so pathetic. 39%, we're going to charge them 20%, so we're charging them essentially half. Vietnam, great negotiators, great people. They like me, I like them. The problem is they charge us 90%. We're going to charge them 46% tariff.
We learned, for example, that while Australia is among those fortunate nations getting off relatively lightly with 10%, Norfolk Island gets stung for 29% despite being part of Australia. We learned similarly of different rates for Reunion and France, which are also the same country. We learned of a 10% tariff on the British Indian Ocean Territory, which seems a little harsh, given that almost everyone who lives there are American military personnel stationed at the US Air Force Base on Diego Garcia. Most audaciously, we learned that a 10% tariff will henceforth be slapped upon everything the US imports from the Heard and McDonald Islands. Although after running the numbers, we, for one whimsical news review, are unconvinced this will prove much of a revenue raiser, on the grounds that the Heard and McDonald Islands export nothing, on the grounds that they are lived on by nobody. Maybe some penguins? We did learn, however, that one country which, despite, everything, does still export $3.5 billion worth of goods to the US annually will not be tariffed at all. Can you guess? Granted that Russia doesn't trade with the US as much as it once did, but it still trades considerably more with the US than, say, Madagascar, which got walloped with 47%. So we learned that while it's good news for Russian fertilizer merchants, it's less so for Malagasy cocoa growers. And yes, we looked those up. And sticking with the subject of chocolate-based produce, in the United Kingdom, we learned that one of its counties was taking the firmest possible line against a very particular species of miscreant. We learned that a gavel had descended heavily upon a ne'er-do-well, and we checked when this guy had done well, and it was Nair, who had pilfered 325 Cadbury's cream eggs from a petrol station in Peterborough. Hot chocolate. Get it?
I see. Sure, I get it now. Yeah.
We learned, yes, that police had scrambled to crack the case, whisked him off to prison. It was no joking matter tantamount to poaching, etc. We learned that the scofflaw, and indeed scoff egg, had not merely been handed a suspended 12-week prison sentence, but had been banned from Cambridgeshire for 3 months. Although given that many, if not most, inhabitants of these islands regularly go more than 3 months at a stretch without visiting Cambridgeshire and consider such absences no great encumbrance, this is a punishment of debatable severity. Though it does usher us smoothly towards a punchline.
Oh, no.
Shut up. Yes, he has been... expelled. Boo. For Monocle Radio, I'm Andrew Mueller.